Welcome to the 2018 Best Robotics Competition, Current Events. Current Events is a recycling game played on a 32-foot by 12-foot field. The field is divided into 4 currents designated by 4 unique colors. Currents are unstable rails that are elevated at the starting positions. Robots will be able to ride the current from the starting position, but will have to fight the current headed back. Ocean garbage is the primary type of game piece that will be scored. All game pieces except the rubber duckies will be located on one of 4 ocean gyres. There is an Atlantic Ocean gyre, an Indian Ocean gyre, and 2 Pacific Ocean gyres. Good luck, Best Robotics teams, as you compete in Current Events 2018.
Hello, my name is Justin Deng.
I'm Christian.
We're brothers, and we had a crazy last 6 weeks with our team in the Best Robotics competition. BEST is it stands for Boosting Engineering, Science, and Technology. And they're hosting a robotics competition with a unique set of challenges with a custom field. And teams from across the state, from across the nation, have to compete in the same field. And eventually there's a bracket, and you're going to go from your local hub to your regional hub to nationals, etc., etc. We are our first year team, and you know, a lot of the challenges took us by surprise. First of all was time. We did not think that we were gonna have time as an issue, but
yeah, there's just a lot of things messed up.
Yeah, after working late nights and getting closer to game day, it just got crazy, insanely busy. They're brilliant people on the build team, especially Josiah.
Only Josiah.
Yeah, Josiah really knows how to work tools and solve problems.
Yeah, we all look up to him because he's the only competent one.
This competition isn't only about the physical hardware aspect. It's not just, build a robot, compete, and you're done. You're supposed to model a company in regards to positions, departments, and teams, splitting up tasks. So not only is BEST about the building of the robot, we also have to document everything that we are building, explain why and how we're doing it, and we compile it into this project called the Notebook. And the Notebook is a binder of all of our documentation that takes place and goes on during the 6 weeks, and you turn it in a week before the actual game day.
And you've got to meet a lot of requirements, and you've got to talk about how you brainstormed, how you used the engineering design process, stuff like that.
Yeah, and that alone can really carry you. Your robot may not even go up and down the rail, but if you do very well in your best notebook, that can really carry you, because it shows.
It's not so much a notebook. It's really a combination of the notebook plus the booth plus sportsmanship plus the robot.
Yeah,
is how you get the best award.
Right.
If that's what you're gonna depend on.
Right. Yeah. So the first couple weeks, we just started building around with new prototypes and designs. We ran into a lot of problems.
The first couple of weeks, we didn't really run into that many problems. I think that was the problem. We didn't troubleshoot it as well as we should have, and that's what lost us our time, because when we started troubleshooting it, we found out the problems, and then that's when stuff started getting time crunched.
Right, and something that I personally learned was you have to be really patient with build, because as a programmer, as a software developer, you write your code, you compile it, and then boom, you're done. But it's a little bit different in build. You gotta flesh things. So the last couple of weeks, of course, we had a time crunch to get the notebook done.
Oh yeah. Well, specifically the last day.
Yeah.
When they stayed up all night doing that. Part of it was that was the problem. That was the time when we were running into a bunch of problems. So we just had to write a lot of stuff down. Because in the notebook, you've got to document your trouble and how you get over that problem. So a lot of that happened in the last weeks, and the documentation team had to wait for us to document it and then give it to them so that they could start working on that. So yeah, they had to stay up all night doing that.
I remember the whole Stevens family was just they were just in the answer building the entire night, and Josiah was sleeping in the build bay, and everyone just looked so tired the morning we got there. We were third, yeah.
We were just fourth in best award.
Right. So third in our notebook by 0.1 point.
Yeah.
We learned from last year's notebook.
And we are also going to learn from this competition, because now we know what we have to work on, since they tell you what you need to work on. So we're going to be improving that.
Right, and something that's really difficult for first year team, there was like 2 or 3 members that had done this before, really, and the rest of us were just newbies.
Yeah.
And so I think not knowing what to expect really kind of hurt us this first go around, but in the future it's probably only going to get better. So we spent that last week, we put in a lot of extra hours trying to get something to work. Something to work, right?
Just anything.
Yeah. There was a practice day 1 week before the actual game day where we turned in our notebook, and we had the pulley system that we originally planned for our robot to go up and down.
But yeah, it actually worked really well. There was a little bit of problem, but yeah, we really practice days where you're trying to figure out how to fix those problems, so that was kind of expected. Yeah, practice day, we did better than we thought we would, even though we didn't even have our arm at that time.
Yeah.
But we really got to see what we needed to do.
Something that got us twice, we're gonna have to fix this in the future, is the battery in the controller. So in game day, we ran out of batteries from the controller because we forgot to charge them the previous night, like the little AAA batteries, and so we couldn't move the motor up and down. But Asa had a really ingenious idea where you would actually hook up the computer, plug it into the brain of the robot, and use the online simulation, and it would pull it up and down.
That could only really work on practice day though, since you're not actually allowed to do that on game day.
I mean, we did pretty well on game day. Like the seeding rounds, we were like top 3, top 4. We were doing pretty well.
Yeah, we were about 4th and 3rd place.
Yeah,
I'd say is really.
And why do you think that is?
Yeah, really our robot couldn't get any trash.
Yeah.
But just our knowledge of the game and extensive studying of it, we knew how to find the current better than the other teams did. And so with precision and a lot of double checking, we managed to get that. It's kind of a time crunch, really, because we were overweight.
Yeah.
Luckily, we didn't have to compete to the 3rd round, so we had a couple rounds to lose weight, and we just barely made it into the competition.
Yeah. And so, I mean, if you don't know, your robot has to be under 24 pounds.
No.
All right. And our top part, originally, our robot would have been like 35, 40 pounds.
Oh, yeah.
With the pan, but apparently we don't even need the pan mechanism.
Yeah, we had to ditch that, and we had to ditch the arm.
Like we had originally had a metal pan, it was too heavy. We revised it into a cardboard pan, it was still too heavy. We dropped that, we lost 6 pounds. The arm itself was like 9 pounds.
We had to drop that. Well, yeah, we just had to completely drop that. We intended to only drop it for the first round, but as the game and day progressed, we just could not get it to work, so we ditched it entirely.
I remember drilling holes into the robot trying to make it lighter.
Yeah, it was a really time-crunching thing. We had to walk all the way outside because they wouldn't let us drill inside. And we had to, in the rain actually, it was light rain though, we had to go out there and start just drilling holes frantically while other people were doing their rounds. And
I remember at one point, we had a robot, we were like right at 24 pounds, and we forgot to put in the little metal sticks that were supposed to support the robot on the rail, and we put it on. It was 0.5 over. They would not let us compete until we lost that weight.
And we were so time crunched that we remember that one of our problems was our robot would get caught on the ducts. So we literally had to duct tape a piece of cardboard onto our robot at the last second when we were running up there. And we brought our duct tape just in case it needed more, but we used that same mechanism for the entire day because it worked so well.
Yeah.
Which was surprising.
And part of the reason that we were able to get so high up in the leaderboards, again, he mentioned that it was because of we knew how to play the game. So we would knock down the ducks, we would find the current, and Christian initially got us a big burst of points because he would circle the correct current. So there's like a combination. How it would work is it's a bit confusing, the game, but of course there are 4 currents designated by 4 colors, and there's a rubber ducky. And
each of those colors, these currents, they each have a number under that duck.
It's 1 through 4.
And you've got to match the correct color with the correct number, and then find that on a sheet, which has all the options corresponded with a letter, and you'd circle that letter.
Right.
And yeah, it was some luck helped us, but the teams were willing to share, and that's how we got our points.
Right. So we moved on to the semifinals to pick up the top 8. And
we did not make it to finals,
no.
But we were content where we got because we didn't have an arm, we didn't have a pan, but we managed to get up to semis.
Yeah.
So we were proud.
So you physically have to have an arm mechanism to get the trash out of the gyre.
Right.
But we could only grab points through the duck, and so we landed low in the semifinals because we didn't have an arm, and all the other teams were just improvising arms and finally found out how to do it.
At the beginning, the teams had trouble going up and down, had trouble getting their arms, but as the rounds progressed, they just got better, and they just got better and better, and we got worse because we actually dropped our robot and our wheel fell off.
Yeah.
So we had to epoxy that.
That was bad.
We had to epoxy that, and at that point it would only go down, and at the final round of the semifinals it wouldn't even go down, because it wasn't epoxied right, or it wouldn't catch onto the rail.
Yeah. But you know what? They picked 6 teams throughout the entire competition. There was like
16.
There was like 16 teams. So in the end, pretty content with what's going on with the 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And hopefully in the next 6 weeks we can place decently well in the regionals.
We'll see.
We'll see. All right. I'll see you at regionals.
My name is Josiah Stevens. I am 15 years of age, and I'm in the 10th grade.
My name is Hannah Stevens. I'm 17, and I'm in 12th grade.
Paul Dang. I am 14 years old, and I'm in 9th grade.
I'm Sophie Klein, I'm 17, and I'm in the 12th grade.
I'm Eden Klein, and I'm 12 years old, and I'm on the programming team.
Hi, my name is Asa Stevens. I'm in 7th grade, and I'm 12 years old. And right now I'm in the software development team.
I'm in the build team, and I picked that because I feel most comfortable in it, and it comes most naturally for me. I can process the information that they give me a lot better than if I were in programming or PR, and I would just get confused.
Well, we've run into quite a few problems, but we managed to resolve them pretty quickly, and we are on schedule with the robot.
I do different stuff. I'm on documentation team, and I'm on the website team. Because I'm very interested in documentation, and it's something that I am already kind of good at, so I just thought that I could grow those skills. I'm very comfortable writing and doing things like that on the computer.
I like being artistic, and I feel like public relations is a good way to for me to express that, like in t-shirt designs and things like that. So we're working on web design and blogging and things like that on the website. We also do a lot with pictures, and there's going to be an interview when we have a booth on game day. Also, like getting the t-shirts out and trying to get people to buy them and talking to people, getting sponsors, things like that.
You are given problems, and you have to overcome those problems by building something physical to do the problem or objective.
Sponsors are companies that invest in our company and help support us with things like supplies for our robots and things that we'll use during the Best Robotics process.
And the 6th team advancing, because they came in 4th place in the Best Award, is Valley-Wide Robotics.
I would like to say, even though the road might get bumpy, you just have to get past that patch of road. and keep moving forward, because it can only get better from there on. You might run into more bumpy road, but look at it this way: once you pass that, it's an achievement, because we ran into several problems, and once we passed it, we felt accomplished, and we now know what to change next year or to do different to make it more efficient and reliable.